everybody. It is September 11th, 2024. There is 9/11 memorials going on. I'm here joined by KerMixAlot. You should be live in all the appropriate places.
Great.
Yeah, we're good to go. How's it going, Kermit?
Good. Thanks, Mickey. Tonight, I'm just going to go over the trades based off of the par indicator and pivots.
Oh, do you want to share your screen?
It's shared, right?
No. We did some things.
Okay, let me share that.
I think it'd be good for us to go over the par. Because
okay, here we go.
A few guys
Now
in chat might have the more they get familiar with it, the better they'll get with the
Okay.
Give me a moment.
Sure.
All right, go ahead.
Okay. So I try to make it as clean as possible. I know there's still a lot of lines on here. The horizontal is entries. The dash is possible entries. The solid is my actual entries as I posted them. I may have not posted every single one in our group, but I know I posted either in ours or Banter. But I want to go over what I'm looking at, and today my settings are for scalping. As you can see, 5, 10, 30, and 120. Okay. Just hold on, guys. Sorry, my daughter's here with me for a few minutes, and I'm just trying to get her set up on the iPad here.
This is called the par, honey. The price section reader.
All right. She may have, but my wife is coming down in a few minutes to get her. But yeah, dad things. All right. So, looking at
what you guys don't know, she's actually like 35.
It could be. Anyway. All right. So the dash line is possible entries based off of the, the scalp, and sometimes you'll see with the solid, it was because I thought it looked good on the day trade settings, the 30, 60, 240, 720. Okay, so this was Wednesday at 1:30 in the morning. I'm not awake, but I just wanted to show that this was a potential entry here as the 30 came down. Once the 30 comes down to minus 30 and starts to curl up, I'm always going to be very interested, especially since we had a bull div here. I won't draw that because I don't want to create too much disturbance on the chart. But as you can see, the cursor from here to here, price came down hard, and the par actually moved up on the 510. So as soon as the 30 started to go in the same direction for support, there was your trade. Again, that was 1:30 in the morning. I didn't take that. 7 o'clock in the morning. I did actually do a little bit of scalping here. So I'm not going to really... It was very light, and it was pre-market, and it was pre-CPI, so I wanted to be really careful. I let this just play out, and I watched it come down, and I was looking at this bull div right here on the... This is on the 15-minute time frame, and then let me draw it down here. You have the 30. This is the 30-60 line. Okay. All right, so the 3060 went up. I was talking about this in the group for sure. I said the 3060 bull div right here after it made, this is probably a PO3. Wouldn't you agree, Mickey?
Mm, manipulation, distribution. Yep.
Yep. This is it right here. And as soon as this is a reversal candle, I'm gonna kind of open that up a little bit. All right. You have a bearish or a bullish engulfing candle. After you had the printed bull div and the 3060 started turning up here. Okay. And you have the 510 bull div. Now, if I get down on the 5-minute, you'll see that a little bit better. But you could just see the divot down and divot down again, and then once it started moving up, you could have gotten in right on the bull div. I think I got in, actually, I got in around 55.7 because I saw that coming. I should actually move this over here. And then when I saw it print the bull div, I knew I was good to go, confirmed. And now the 30 is flat. The 120 is moving up, and the 510 confirmed the bull div. And over here you have the bull div as well. So you have all kinds of confluence. And it was off of a little bit front run, but it was pretty much near the previous day low. So I took that up. I sold some around here. Around here, this was the bottom of the monthly CPR. And then I sold some here at the yearly. This is the yearly pivot. So then I saw a bull or a bear div on the 510 right here. The ribbon came down as price up here went up. And then you have a bearish engulfing right here on the 15-minute. And I know there's only one in the audience. Oh, there's two. If you guys have any questions at all, put it in the chat. I'll kind of give you guys a minute to ask anything. I'll kind of slow down a little bit just to make sure we are keeping up with everybody. And Mickey, you could let me know too. So here I took the short. Again, the 30 went over minus 30, pulled down. Plus you have the bearish divs here. Now you didn't have a confirmation on the 3060, but the ribbon was quite a bit above the 4-hour. So I felt pretty good about that. And then I wrote this one, TP, right in here, because you have a weekly pivot and the bottom of the monthly CPR, which is a purple dashed line. And what I'm going to do now is show you guys what that monthly CPR looks like. Hold on. Alright, I apologize. My daughter is crying and she's got a tummy ache. I just need to bring her up to her mom. Mickey, do you mind talking for a minute?
That's fine.
Okay, I'll be back in a little bit. Sorry, guys.
Alright. I'm sharing my screen, but there's only one screen that can be shared for everybody. Let's see here. We have an update on the trader package. I'm gonna just keep reinforcing that. We have now session times, which is pretty sweet. It'll show the beginning and closing of the sessions between New York, London, Tokyo, and Sydney. Had a lot of confluence with them. You can see when they try to take the previous session highs, when they try to compete against each other.
All right. Thanks,
All right.
guys.
Yeah, no worries.
She got a bad tummy ache. Wife just got finished with the shower, so she can take her.
Oh, cool.
All right. So, no questions yet? Okay. So I'll
Nope.
keep on rolling here. So yeah, I took the short here and the weekly pivot, and I accidentally shut down the pivot on the monthly. So let me get that back up. So we don't want daily. We don't want weekly. I do want the monthly. And we're going to do a fill color a little bit darker here. All right. Okay, so you guys can see now clearly this is the monthly CPR. When it's pretty wide like that, you're gonna get good reaction off the borders. And so this is why I TP'd on the way up here. It kept going, but it's fine. And then I definitely took a TP here on the short. All right, so let me get back to the par. So here we have the 240, the 4 hour is still trending up, and now the 3060 comes under. Well, the 30 came under the zero line and back over, so I'm interested again. Plus, it held the monthly CPR bottom really, really well. And again, bullish engulfing right here. So that was where I went long. I sold some, I think I showed it in the chat just recently. I went up 200, sold a little bit, and then I sold some up here, and now I got like, peanuts left because I just wanted to focus on the stream. And so right now I'm done for the day. I will get up in the morning and look at the setups again. But that was my trade day on Bitcoin. So if there's no questions, I'll go on to Nugget. I put up in the gold and silver channel. And let me go over to Nugget.
What is Nugget?
It's basically a gold ETF. It's going to trade pretty much with the price of gold. If gold is up 2%, Nugget could be up 4 to 5% for the day. And Nugget's nice because, it's pretty clean the way it trades. I think it's cleaner than gold, but it's only going to be trading during market hours. So you kind of want to see how gold's been going all morning, and it's basically like a 2x ETF for gold. So it's very conservative compared to like doing options or futures, because if I'm trading both stocks and crypto, I'd rather not mess with options because you gotta really watch it. So this is perfect for me being on the road and on the run trading. So I saw it this morning. Here's the open right here. Okay, so it opened down, right, and could have shorted it there, but with the CPI and busy morning, I just kind of said, okay, I'm gonna watch it, and it pulled down right here. I'm gonna pull this open a little bit more. Okay, the green was where I got in. The dash means just you could have, that was a little bit more of the confirmation. But the 3060 came down, bounced off the 4 hour, comes up, and when it turns and the ribbon's fat, that's where you want to take a TP. Came down toward the 4 hour again. This was yesterday. I did trade it yesterday. I also put it in the chat, I think, yesterday as well. So this is my trade yesterday. And then I saw it come back down, and the 30 touched the 4 hour. The 4 hour, this is a nice trending movement up to the upside on the 4 hour, plus the 12 hours going up. On Bitcoin, we didn't have the 12-hour going up, so I was more watching it a little bit more close with Nugget. I felt pretty good. I could just go in and hold it for pretty much the whole day because you have the 4-hour and the 12-hour supporting moving up. So I felt pretty good. I could hold that most of the day. And this was the movement for the whole day on Nugget. Let me look at just the price action. Okay, so I got in. It was around 42, between 42 actually 42.60 and 42.70, right around here. Yearly pivot. So I took a little bit of profit here, and then up here, previous day high, bottom of the monthly CPR again. So I took a little bit of profit here, and it just kept going. So I sold my runners here, and then tomorrow I'll take a look at it again. So that's what I was looking at for today. What I like to do also is go through my list and see which ones look the best on the par setup as well. But gold, silver, Bitcoin, Ethereum, and right now DJT, because it's pretty volatile, especially after a debate. So I'll get into that one next. So DJT, I don't know if I put the chart up in the stocks, but I definitely had been mentioning it. Mickey knows, and Mickey got in with me, I think. Yeah. So I got in like 16 and change to 17, and I sold most of it yesterday between, I'd say 19, and I got out a little bit here at 1860, and then I sold most of it pretty much around lunch, and then I saw it going down, and unfortunately I sold a little bit more here, but I was still up nice, and I saved a little bit for after the debate, and that got crushed, but luckily it was a very small position, and it opened way down here. I guess I don't know if Wall Street thought he did a bad job, but whatever. I don't want to.
Well, a lot of people run up the news, yeah.
But obviously, they priced it in, and maybe the general consensus wasn't that it was as strong as it could be. So DJT, which is Donald Trump's social media stock, got hammered. But I took advantage of that, and I saw this glaring bull dip. I mean, that is a huge move down in price, and the 510 just went sideways, and the 30 scooped down again to the minus 30, which I really love to see that, and then a reversal, and that's what happened here. Now, in my rules for par on the 30-60, you want the 30 to cross the 60 and the 60 to be moving up. So the confirmation is over here. All right, the 30 crossed the 60 here. Let me open that a little bit wider. Okay, and then the 60 started going up. So here was your confirmation right here, and that's at 1627. So what I did was I added to my lot 1627, and then I just sold some more again at 1668 to make a little bit back from what I lost from holding it overnight. And that's why I don't usually like to hold stuff overnight, because of this exact reason here. And that's it. These guys are welcome to come into the theater unless you have something you want to go over, Mickey. Or any questions from you.
Relatively short. Do you want to take a look at NASDAQ and S&P 500?
Do you want me to look at the futures?
Yeah.
Or NDX? Yeah. Tell me what ticker.
Yeah, NDX.
NDX. NASDAQ index. This is just the index. This isn't the non-tradable one. This is just
Yeah, just tell me
the
what you see.
okay. Um, you mean like when it opens tomorrow?
Yeah.
I see the 30, the 5, 10, 30 really up at the top. Now that doesn't mean it's going to drop tomorrow, but it did pretty much scrape the top of the monthly CPR. Isn't it kind of crazy that gold, Bitcoin, and the Nasdaq are all battling within the monthly CPR right now? It's kind of funny.
I think I don't know. I've been really bearish with the greater sentiment of the market. I think the House of Cards is gonna fall through, but they're like giving euphoria.
Yeah, but they can keep doing this. That's the problem. I feel like they can just keep, every time somebody thinks there's going to be a black swan, it just keeps going and going and going. I mean, I honestly thought when COVID came, it was going to be over for a while.
The last like legitimate correction that we had was I think when Asia did their sell-off back in like 2015, 2016. And that was
this
and
looks like
that
it's
was
setting up.
That wasn't our correction. That was their correction, and we hurt from it.
Yeah. Well, if this moves up tomorrow, ping me in the group. You know what I'd like to trade if the Nasdaq looks like it's going to get hurt. Check these out. TECL that's bull 3 times, right? So it's gonna. If NDX is down 2%, this could, actually, TECS is for the short, right? See that? Techs, that's tech, that's like all your big tech companies, and it's 3 times, and these will be a higher beta, which means that they're going to be a more exaggerated percentage down or up. So, for example, if NDX is down 2%, right, a 3x bear S&P would be probably down about 6%. However, this could be down 10%. That's why I love trading these. So if you're bearish on the market, this is a great...
What's the other one?
Is it like a stock.
Is it TECL?
TECS is if you think that the market's going to go down.
What's the other one?
TECL.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
L and S, just like long and short. It's TEC for tech, and then L for long, S for short. Yep.
That's
so
cool.
if you really strongly believe the market's gonna drop, I would check out TECS. Go for it. That could be an 8 to 10%. It has 8 to 10% days often. It's like, it's kind of common almost.
Damn.
I would say between 6 and 10% is
Pop
common.
it open. Let's look at it.
Okay, there it is. All right, so you would be looking for a long in tech short, right? And we're getting a par gap. Right, the 3060 is coming way down. I'd like to see it kind of go down more tomorrow, but I'm getting very interested in this myself. And you have you do have a par gap on the 5, 10, 30, 120. Right, you got all that real estate up in there. The 4-hour could come down a little bit more.
So theoretically, this is inverse. So this means that the stock is climbing. We're looking at the inverted chart.
Falling.
The short is going down because the stock is rising.
Right.
Because it's inverse.
And I really like it because it helps my site. Because I like to long more than short.
Yeah.
Right. So I wish there was an inverse Bitcoin in the exchanges.
Yeah.
Because it would help my psyche more, But this just came down to the previous week low. This could be a good. You might want to look up some order blocks on this. Here, Let me clean this up a little bit. I mean, it's at 606. I mean, 563 would be a big move, but could you see it coming down here? I don't know, I guess you could you consider that little doji an order block? You said you don't really
No,
like to use.
it's mitigated.
Oh, because of this right here?
Yeah.
Oh. Well, then I'm just marking the bottom. Well, this one's not really mitigated right here. Or is it? No, not really. Could you use that little candle
Possibly.
right there? Okay. So maybe we could even pull that up to there like that. I mean, if it... I'm buying this tomorrow. If it gets in here, I'm buying it. 565?
Zoom out. Look at the monthly. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, hold on. Daily. You want me to look at a monthly?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, yeah. Well, you gotta
Zoom
remember
out.
with...
Keep zooming out.
You got to remember with these ETFs and ETNs that there's data involved. And so there's fees attached. If you
Keep
hold
zooming
this
out.
too long,
Yeah.
okay, I'll keep zooming out. Oh yeah, it's probably what is the top here? 2,766,094, and it is now $6. Wow. That is insane. And of course, it was never really that amount, but I don't know how they're even calculating that.
I want that short.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, Christy. Yeah, right? Could you imagine?
It's just inverse of
God.
the actual like NAS.
Yeah. Yeah, that is, yeah, that's pretty insane. But, yeah, if this comes down a little bit tomorrow, I mean, I might even get it if it just goes sideways because I think the bull divs will be there. So give me a turn on the par tomorrow, and I'm gonna take
4,100,000. That's like the top of it.
Oh, here, let
Wow.
me put the cursor over it. Okay, so the high. Look at the high on my screen. No, 3,553,000.
Oh, you're not scrolled down enough
What do you mean?
on the scale. Oh, I guess. Oh, you are. Hold on. Yeah, mine is showing it's 4 million.
Really? And you're on the monthly? And you're putting your cursor on the first monthly candle?
I'm on the weekly.
Oh,
But the monthly is showing it now too.
it's showing over 4 million?
Yeah.
Wow. And then look at the next candle. That candle was 4,032,000. The high 4 million and the low 1.8 million. Just that month.
That's insane. I don't even know what to take out of this. What is this?
It's inverse. It's not just inverse S&P. It's inverse tech. Because tech has been by far over the last 10 years the strongest sector, pretty much out of everything. And this has Amazon, Google, Nvidia. It's got Nvidia. We could look at the holdings. Yeah. There we go. Make sure that nobody's got questions on anything, because now we're just having fun here. Tech S. There it is. All right, so top one holdings: Goldman Sachs, Financial Square, Treasury, and Instruments Fund. No, I want to look at Haven't used Yahoo Finance in a while. Usually over the top they say the holdings. Do you see it? 1 year return minus 50%.
Market cap is 102 million. 16 million,
Yeah.
almost 17 million outstanding shares.
Holdings. Here we go. Okay. It should have the list of the companies in here. But I guess they're. So it's it invests 80% of its funds net assets in financial instruments that provide 3x daily inverse exposure to the index or the ETFs that track the index. It's not really giving us the main holdings. It's weird. They usually like have a list of the holdings. Anyway. Okay. But that's what when I read about it, it's I mean, and it's obvious by the ticker. It's tech long, tech short, and it's the index provided by the S&P. Oh. There you go. Anyway. All right. Good call on that. Let's keep an eye on up for tomorrow.
You shorted with $1, you'd have $4 million today.
I'm yeah.
Well, or if you bought tech long.
Yeah.
Here, let's look at tech long.
Yeah.
And monthly. Now, it's not going to be, the chart's not going to be as insane because of the theta burn. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's fees involved. So, either whether you own Tech L or Tech S, you're going to be paying fees that accumulate every day, every week. So, this up is not going to be as extreme as the Tech S down. So this is $78. You see what I'm saying? And what was the low on?
Oh, you did? Okay.
Yeah, the low is 19 cents. So it's a huge difference because all this time you own this, you have to pay fees on it, so it cuts into the profit. So yeah, it's not as insane.
Yeah.
And I don't think you can short. I don't think you can buy options on this. If anybody has a stock account, you can just type it in. What's that?
Yeah, Godfather, you're hot micing like a motherfucker. Yeah, let's look at Tesla.
Yeah, I don't think it's not optionable. Then you could have put a short on it. All right, Tesla. Oh, today Tesla had their first fatality, and the lawyer said that the car blew up. And it was a Cybertruck, and they could not even identify what kind of car it was till like way later. Because the lithium ion, when they blow up, they say that it's half the temperature of the surface of the sun. It was 5,000 degrees. And so they got incinerated. And so it was the first fatality. It ran into like some cement truck or something. So that I think that came out today. So I wonder if that's going to drop the price tomorrow. I don't know.
You want to bring up the news?
Yeah. Let me just.
Okay, so that leveraged text. That leveraged text is meant to be on a short-term basis. It's not supposed to be a long-term hold.
Cybertruck had its first fatal crash this week.
and it was so bad they couldn't identify the driver, license plate, or VIN number due to severe burn. The truck hit a concrete culvert and went up in flames. We don't know the speed the truck was going, but we do know that it was definitely not an autopilot. Remember, Cybertruck is the only vehicle in Tesla's fleet without autopilot, and it can't come soon enough. Tesla's Q2 safety report recorded 1 crash in autopilot for every 6.8 million miles driven, and for those not in autopilot, 1 crash for every 11.5 million miles driven. That's a huge difference. Also, remember that data from fires? The EVs are 61 times less likely to catch fire than gas cars, according to the latest data from NTSB. Tesla also says that that data is conservative because it also includes data from other causes not related to the vehicle. While this crash is tragic, I'm still a proponent for the Cybertruck, and I think the data is here to prove it.
All right,
How do you
fine.
guys feel? Comment down below and follow for more. Cybertruck had its first
Don't do
fatal
either
crash.
of those things. Don't comment or.
Huh?
I'm just sassing her.
Oh, okay.
No, this
Cool,
these
cool.
leveraged and inverse ETPs, because I'm getting a warning on my exchange about them. They're supposed to be short term.
Yep.
I don't see
You-
anything about
you do not
fees.
wanna- I day trade them. I wouldn't hold them over a week for sure. The fees, on a day, it could be like, 10 cents. I mean,
Because I'm essentially buying a spot.
right. But it's a fee because it's a fund. Any fund is going to have fees attached, and it's just kind of built into the price. You're not paying on your E-Trade account. It's not going to show a separate line item for fees on it. It's just going to be in the price, kind of. It's like kind of built in.
Baked in.
Yeah, I mean, and I could be wrong, but I've never seen it.
I'm not
maybe
seeing
I haven't.
anything about fees because it's giving me this big old warning, and I'm trying to read through it, and I don't see anything. There's just risks because it's leveraged.
Right here, 0.95%. See that? 0.9,
Just to buy.
0.90 for Teckle, and 0.95% for these are the fund fees and expenses were excluded. There. But it's so nominal that if you're day trading it, it's right here.
Yeah, my strategy wasn't to day trade it; it was to hold it.
Oh no, then you just might as well buy QQQ or SQQQ.
Are they leveraged and inverted?
No, QQQ is just buying basically the Nasdaq, and then SQQQ. I don't think it's. No, it's not leveraged. It's just opposite. Yeah. You got your Ultra Pro short, QQQ, and yeah. So you could go QQQ or SQQQ. So if you think the market's coming down and you just want spot with no fees, then you go with SQQQ. And then there's also SDS. My trading buddy here in real life, he likes to trade that. SDS is also a inverse. Here, I'll show you that. That's ProShares Ultra Short, and
It's giving me the same thing for the SQQQ.
for SQQQ,
Yeah, because it's inverse. It's leveraged and inverse.
QQQ is not. I don't think it's leveraged.
SQQQ.
SQQQ
It's
maybe.
leveraged / inverse, so it's actually
Okay.
both. They qualify both.
Okay, so that may be 2x SQQQ because
Yeah.
there's SQQQ. Okay, there's TQQQ, which is 2x, and SQQQ is 2x inverse. Yeah, but those fees are probably, really low compared to Tech L and Tech S are going to be a little bit more extreme
Yeah.
because of.
Godfather Christie, do you guys trade stocks?
I don't.
Okay. Yeah, I just wasn't sure if I'm kind of curious as to
There-
what platforms you use and whatnot. We don't have to talk about it on stream, but
Oh, L3. I think you trade.
oh, Astro's here. Astro, I think he trades stocks.
Bring him into the. You can bring everybody into the theater. I'm done. Sorry, Christy. I guess you kind of missed my. I'll put my chart up. I'll put my chart up, and wherever Mickey wants me to put them. If you see the vertical dash, that's just a scalping op for an entry, and then the solid line is where I entered. The pink is short and the green is long. I'll put the charts up. It was 3 charts. It was Bitcoin, Nugget, which is a gold ETF, and then DJT, the Trump stock. So I'll put those up on the entries. And then you can take a look at the par if you have any questions on it. Let me know.
Oh,
Hey, are you done talking about? Did I miss the talk about all the par stuff?
Yeah,
Right.
that was at 9. It was a shorter one. I went from like 9 to 9:25. But I goes just telling Kirsty, I'll put charts up with vertical lines. Our entries, solid is the ones I actually did, and dash was another opportunity. But if you see it, it was at like 1:30 in the morning. I'm obviously not up, so I'm not taking that trade. I'll show you I could show you the chart. So this was Bitcoin. We go to the 15-minute. I don't mind running through it real quick. I'll do a since you and Christy know it quite well. Let me put it on here. All right, so
Yeah, 'cause I want to help make tutorial videos, so I want to just memorize these perfect setups and be able to spot them real easily by sight.
all right, so what I'm going to use on, I'm probably going to just stick with it, but on the more volatile days, I'd rather be looking at the 510. I know I was using the 1020, and I kind of like play with it a little bit, and I also have a certain way based off of what kind of day. On a really volatile day, I want to catch the 5 minutes. I don't want to, because if you wait 15-20 minutes, you're going to be like getting in really late. But I'm on the 15-minute time frame, and the scalp was 510 30 120, and then this is the standard, the 30-60 4-hour 12-hour. So you had the 30-60 come deep. Here was your confirmed entry as the 30 crossed the 60. So even if you got in there, you're fine. You had a little bit of a play. That went up 260 to 700. I mean, that's a 500-point move, even from the confirmed candle. So, I mean, that's fine by me. TP1, as the 5 and 10 get oversold. So that was just a possible one. Obviously, that was at 2 a.m., so I'm not taking that. But when I woke up, I kind of waited for CPI, and that really nice divot. And I was talking to Mickey, that was a PO3, and that created a nice bull div. Price came down steep, and the price or the par went up on the 30-60. If it's a 30-60 bull div, I'm pretty much almost always going to take it. You also had a little mini bull div here on the 510.
Oh yeah. Well, I was going to say I saw there's also a bear div before that, before the 2 big red candles. Yep. You got a nice bear div. And
yeah, I missed that one.
A nice clean signal to just say, hey, close that whole position that you had opened previously, because it's game over. And
right.
So you could have close that whole position in profit, as opposed to only taking partial profits and then getting stopped out on the rest.
If you
Right.
look at the, yeah, it's going to be much more obvious on the 5 minute here. Okay, it's right here. Right.
Yeah, look at that. Time to
so
go.
Here to there. And that's going to be pink. Yep. And then, well, I mean, it's still a bear div. It's not very steep here.
Yeah, I kind of included the whole piece to the left of that goes up much higher.
Now, to
as
be
well.
honest,
The
I may
triple-
have caught this. I might have caught this a little bit late, like on this, got in on this candle here, because that
Short
was
or
when
long?
the 30 really started to turn down.
Short or long?
Well, short right here. Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
But I definitely caught this. I think I should have posted that.
When you got into the long at the low,
yeah.
what does that look like in terms of the actual candle time frame you're entering on, and how you're entering as far as like just marketing in, or trigger order on a break, or limit order on something?
Market. I mean, or what I'll do sometimes is if I know it's like really kind of jumping around. I mean, this was all like still very jumpy CPI action. So let's say I'm here and now I see that this broke this, and let's say it's at 55,861. I might put I put a lot of small orders, like 20% at a time. That's just kind of how I do it. I'll put an order at 55,750, 55,771. You know, I'll just kind of, and honestly, it's kind of random. But I'm gonna make sure I don't buy the top of the candle. You know, if the top was like here at the time at 816, I'll put an order at 759 or something. You know, just so I don't pay the top. I'm already in. I already got a little bit here, and then I got a little bit here. I think I'll have to go back and look at my orders that I posted up in there.
But yeah, mainly what I'm wondering is, what's your general procedure or rule as far as how you enter? You're just entering.
I put limits. Well, I
Once
might
you
put
see
the
the
first
signal,
one in market just to make sure I'm in, right?
Yeah.
And then I
So
might put
once
like
you
2
see
or
the
3
signal
more.
on the 5 minute, and you're like, okay, it's time to go. A 5 minute candle has closed with that bull div right there.
Yeah.
You're throwing market at one small, a fraction of a risk factor. You're throwing half a risk factor at it or less.
Yeah, I
And
might be
you're
throwing
also
1/4
adding
of-
limit orders. You're also adding limit orders as well, in case there's a small retracement or a
Yes.
bigger retracement.
Yeah,
Do you
so-
ever do a limit order below that whole entire range low, in case it just wants to wipe out stop losses one more time?
I honestly don't usually do that. Like once we had this bull div here, that's where I was like really excited. I definitely wanted to be in. So my general MO would be a market on this one, right? That's a bull div. I mean, it's not over the wick, but it's definitely a bigger candle. And then here, I definitely knew I wanted in because you had everything was lined up. The 3060 had the buy signal here. I mean, technically,
So in
this
that
was
case,
this is
yeah,
your
you got that
original
even
buy signal.
bigger. Once that even bigger bull div shows up, or I guess you're seeing both at about the same time, the smaller bull div and the bigger one.
Oh,
So
yeah.
you might, in this case, you might add to your position at market as well, if your limit orders aren't getting filled and it's just going without you.
I could do that. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's not.
okay.
I'm not like completely precise with how I do things. What I'm looking at is I see this bull div and I see this 510 bull div. All right, so it's basically I definitely know I want to get in this thing, right? I don't want to chase. So my normal MO would be a market here and on this candle, and it's probably showed a vector. This is only on the 5-minute. It was probably showing a vector pretty early on. I'm like, so I'll just kind of put limits, maybe $50, $70 below where the price currently is. You know, just so I know I'm not buying, I'm not chasing it. You know, I am, but I'm not. You know, I'm kind of letting it retrace a little bit while it's bouncing around in that 5-minute candle, just to make sure that my average is not. I didn't want my average to be 56. I wanted it to be like 55, 750, 55, 780. And I think that's what it was when I put it up in the group. But I
And that
definitely
whole
knew I
time
wanted
that
it.
you're
If I
doing
have
that,
to chase
like,
it, I will.
the whole time that you're doing that, or at what point do you lock in a full stop loss below the low?
When I have most of my position in there. So my stop loss was 55, like 55.3 on this. Might have even been 55.1. I'm obviously out of that trade now. I could go back and look. But my stop loss was below the low with a cushion. So like right around here, 55, 340, like, you know, just with a little bit of a cushion, just in case. But when you have all this, I was pretty confident it wasn't going to come back anytime soon. Especially after that fast move. Fast move usually equals false move. And right here, this is the candle reversal. It's a par reversal on the scalp. It's a par reversal and a bull div on the larger one. And then I need myself to be a little bit better holding most of the position until I get a reversal. And this is one of my weaknesses. So I think I don't mind taking a little bit out just to kind of secure a profit. But my problem is I sold some here and I sold some here, but I didn't have the reversal signal yet. And it was really,
I
really
think
strong.
that's a nuance that can be refined for most strategies. Is when you hit a TP1, how much do you close? And then after that, how
TP1
much
is
do you let ride, and how liberal are you with letting it ride? And I think the best thing that I've come up with so far is, if you can get to a 1-to-1 risk reward ratio or just a little bit better, you can close half of the position and move the stop loss to break even. And then after that, you can afford to be a little more generous. Let it, you know, not getting like, oh, is it going to reverse, or, you know, just letting it ride and using some other rules, such as market structure or a moving average of sorts, or other, you know, bearish divergence like you see there at the top,
right.
Or that pink line, you got that bearish divergence. You know, then you could be like, all right, time to close, you know, 75 or 90 or 100% of this.
What's hard for me sometimes is, like, you see how the 10 was way up here, and we're on a monthly pivot and a yearly pivot. I gotta take some out here.
Yeah, well, you do have technically you do have a bit of a bear div there already, because that 10 is that the 10, the 5 spikes all the way up to the top, and then it doesn't quite get there before it reverses a little bit. So I wouldn't blame anyone for closing the entire position right there in that zone when it looks like it's rejecting from that big fat yellow or lime colored line. That's a really valid place to close the whole position. However, you know, in some cases you might not get that bear div or have that monthly level,
True.
and you might be able to hold it until the next bear div. That's where it's subjective, but it's also it's actually kind of pretty rule based,
Yeah.
which is really giving you pretty darn good profits overall.
It rejected off of the monthly pivot there, you know. So
Another thing that I use is trigger orders. Like, just if you had put the stop loss below the low of that big that little scary candle, not the red, the gray one with the red wicks.
yeah.
Put a stop loss below the low, and you stay in the trade because that low never gets broken. You know. Go back to the. No, the other one where that bear div is kind of completing itself. Go back like 4 candles. The one with the red wicks. See right there. Yeah, you've got that first bear div kind of completing itself and looking scary. You could have put the stop loss right below that candle close or low, and then just been like, all right, I'm probably going to get stopped out. But then you don't, because the next candle is engulfing and it goes back up. And so you're still in the trade. And then you could either leave your stop loss there and wait for the next bear div to show up.
Well, this candle
or you could
was a rejection off the yearly pivot. So
yeah,
I wasn't really watching it that close at the time. I was out and about. But had I been watching that, I probably would have just got out right here.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying.
That would have scared me, honestly.
It's a good rule-based thing to say, all right, I think I'm done, but instead of manually closing the position, I'm just going to put the stop loss right up underneath it. And you're only forfeiting a tiny % of your profits by doing that.
Right.
And every now and then you'll gain significantly. You know, you're risking like 1 or 2% of your profits, and you're gaining another 10 or 20% of your profits or whatever.
Now, if you
guys, I was gonna say, you guys should check out this video from Casper SMC I put in. He uses this strategy that he calls like price weighting, where you're kind of like going up to where it like kind of retraces a little bit, and then you're going up to the next level, putting your stop loss under there.
Oh yeah, that's. I think I've watched that. I think I've watched that video, and that's a very solid market structure based way to trail your stop loss, which is basically you just follow the breaks of structure up. As soon as you have a market structure break of structure, you put your stop loss under that new low, because if that structure gets broken with good displacement, then theoretically price shouldn't be coming back down below that low anymore. And that would give you a reason to trail your stop loss up and up and up. And it can give you quite a ways of trailing stop losses. It's all about how you define market structure, which I went over in my workshop video last night that we recorded, about how to define market structure in terms of what is a pullback and what is a break of structure and what is a market shift or a market structure shift or whatever.
I actually just noticed something.
What's that?
Mickey, we did pin the candle by candle image in there in the education, correct?
I don't remember.
All right. Well, candle by candle, and 15-minute is always, and what I notice about, I just keep forgetting about it. But candle by candle is once you're in, all right, let's say I'm in here, I'm on the 15-minute now. You do not close until you get a 15-minute candle close below the prior candle's wick, okay? So here, that didn't happen. Here, that didn't happen. Here, and this would help you even go through the levels. This, if I was following this, I forget about it sometimes. We should try to find it and put it up in chat again.
I found it.
Okay, it's really good. Maybe even post it in the chat.
I'm doing
so, candle by candle, right? No close below the previous wick. No close below the previous wick. No. 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 Now this one went down, but it did not close below the previous wick. So you stay in it. And this would be one I'd like to try to do more often after my TP1, right? Just to kind of secure a little, but you don't even need to do it. All right? No close below the previous wick. No. No. And look at that. That was my short entry. Was the first 15-minute candle that closed below the previous candle, wick and body. And there it is. So this works really well if it's really trending. And by this point, you knew that this was trending, especially by this one, right? I mean,
Thanks for that video, Christy. I posted it in beginning the trading journey in the educational.
Oh, cool.
I think that's
Awesome.
a pretty
Yeah,
substantial resource.
Okay, cool. I was gonna say today was like a bit of like a PO3 move too. I was like looking
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
We all noticed that.
Yeah, right here. Right? This Christy?
Totally.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
Yeah, I think Casper sent out a loom on his Telegram about taking that short there this morning.
okay. Where? Right here?
Yeah, he shorted because it was
He
classic
shorted right before or right after
consolidation,
CPI.
manipulation, distribution. Yeah,
And
he shorted it down to because that low broke one of the previous lows. If you scroll back even more. Oh no! This is Bitcoin. A similar thing happened on the Nasdaq.
oh, okay, you're talking about NASDAQ. Yeah, I'm sure it was probably pretty similar. But yeah, even here the candle by candle theory, right? No close, no close, no, and then boom, once this closed above the previous wick and candle, this is where you get out of the short, and then the next one was the signal for the long. So I'm gonna put a post-it up the computer candle by candle, because it in a trending situation, it's really good.
Let's call it here, guys. I want to take my dog for a walk. I've been walking more, so.
Perfect. All right, I'll
cool.
post the charts up, and then awesome. Thanks for the video.
Yeah, no worries. What were you saying, Astro?
No, oh geez, Bitcoin just pumped. Damn.
Yeah.
Woo!
I was saying I dropped into the chat just to say, hey, my squeeze gave a perfect long, and it just pumped. It's at the break of that. So I use a similar procedure instead of the stop loss where it's like doesn't break. I use an entry method of doesn't break to go long or short based on when the candle move is broken or whatever. And this trade was a 1 to 4 risk reward, or a 1 to 4.6 risk reward trade. It's off that range, it is 1, 2, 3 standard deviations out of the range. So that's a beautiful trade there. Yeah, I'll post I'll post this in the chat though.
I've been doing so well with trading recently. I kept it simple with my rules. I'm like 10x only Bitcoin, and capture profits almost immediately, like, and then move my stop. So I've only had like maybe like 3 losing trades out of like 15 trades, and it was managed so well that I'm like, it's not an issue to have lost that. So I think the system that I've done for myself and prepping myself for a prop firm is really coming through.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah, now I need to add more margin to it so I have more mental stress, because if I'm doing a prop firm, I'm gonna try to do like a whole 100K, like, margin play at one time.
Oh, yeah, we should talk about that later when you have time. I have a lot of experience doing psychology for prop firm trading.
Cool. Yeah, I'd love that. All right, well, I'm gonna stop the stream now. Thanks everybody for joining us, but we'll talk to you guys again later. I hope everybody's having a safe 9/11. You know, Godspeed to everybody, but